when your quarterback is coming out saying this blasphemy, you know it's over. Tua Tagovailoa was asked, what he thinks about the criticism he's been getting. And he basically said, I don't care. I'm getting paid. 53 million a year he's getting. Do you want to know what Josh Allen is getting? 55 million. That is less than 2 million difference right there. And Josh Allen rather die than lose to the Chiefs again in the playoffs. This guy gets playoff wins yearly. Tua Tagovailoa, 0 playoff wins in his NFL career. Now, he basically said whether I throw 5 picks or 5 touchdowns, I get to come home to my kids, and who are happy to see me every time. Now, nothing wrong with being happy to see your kids, and nothing wrong with your kids being, happy to see you. But it's wrong when you basically said, I really don't care what happens, man. I could literally, get cut and I'll still have my money. So, to me, this just shows how much he wants it, how much he wants to win. And if you're the Dolphins, after extending them for the rest of the decade, getting over 50 million every single year, you have to be kicking yourself because you have a quarterback that just doesn't care. He really just doesn't care. Unlike Brady, unfortunately, I'm Brady's biggest hater, but this man literally hated seeing his family, and look everything that he accomplished. A lot of the elite quarterbacks, and I'm just saying this as like kind of an example, really aren't family men. Aaron Rodgers, you got Brett Favre, Tom Brady, maybe now when they're older they become family men, but at this peak of their career, when they are in their elite kind of like prime, these guys literally hated to see their family. They rather watch film. They rather work on their throw. They rather get, their right wide receivers right. Brady would not even get home if he was in Tua Tagovailoa's situation where he has a negative record, started 0-3 in the season. And that's the truth. That's the difference in mentality. Josh Allen over there, he is absolutely, crazy to win. And that's why the Buffalo Bills every time win the division, win the division, win the division. And the crazy thing is, Tua used to be the second best quarterback here because, the Patriots were fumbling between, Mac Jones and whatnot. The Jets are the Jets. And now Tua, Drake May, is here. So, I'm telling you right now, you're becoming third. And if Justin Fields puts it together and puts in, a couple wins, you don't even have to win that many games, just maybe 7 wins, you're going to overtake Tua Tagovailoa. Now, they asked him, has he kept up with the other QBs in his draft class? Because Tua Tagovailoa was the second pick quarterback in a stacked quarterback draft class, all right? So keep in mind, first overall, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow went healthy. I hate to admit it as well. I don't really like him either, but he is elite. He's gone to a Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa, playoff appearances. Half of them he didn't even start because he was injured as well. Now, the following pick, because Tua got picked, and then it was Justin Herbert right after. Justin Herbert, on the other hand, looks like a stud. Yes, you could say, oh yeah, he hasn't had that playoff success yet. But I'll tell you something, it's coming. And it's coming real good, because I'm telling you, Jim Harbaugh and, Justin Herbert, they look good. And I'm telling you, they are due for a playoff win. He's already started more playoff games than Tua Tagovailoa. So that Chargers team is destined to actually make a run. The Chiefs are kind of falling off. The Broncos, that'll be interesting what goes on there. And then, of course, the Raiders are irrelevant. So this is a year for the Chargers to absolutely host a home game in the playoffs. It's theirs to lose, to be honest. But Tua doesn't care. Justin Herbert does care. He has an elite coach with an elite quarterback, an elite playbook. It's just looking elite with the Chargers. Meanwhile, the Dolphins look like an absolute dumpster fire. 100%. They're kicking themselves. And then you got Jordan Love. He's had playoff success. He's inherited what, Aaron Rodgers basically left. He looks like the franchise quarterback there. And then Jalen Hurts, won a Super Bowl. So he's legit the worst quarterback that got paid in that draft class. 100%, 100,000%. And it's not even close. You got, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love a little bit lower, and then Tua Tagovailoa's down here. 100%. That's it. And the Dolphins are cooked. Even Tyreek Hill, who broke his leg and even celebrated, saying yes when he broke his leg, went out. And keep in mind, when he first got to the Dolphins, my man was hyped. It was mostly because of the payday, but he had Tua as a top 5 quarterback. He said he was more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. Basically, high praises for Tua. And now he doesn't even rate him top 5. And honestly, I wouldn't even put him in the top 20 because Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, and Joe Burrow is a lot more respectable than you trying to throw in Tua Tagovailoa in the mix here because he's borderline and it's pushing it top 5 quarterbacks in his draft class, man. Because you would probably have to go Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, and then possibly Tua. Maybe there's a backup in there that might be a little bit more solid. But that's the main truth right there, man. Tua Tagovailoa is an absolute mess, and I don't understand why the Dolphins went out and paid this man. He really doesn't care. He's happy to get paid. He's not really looking to win a Super Bowl. The natty that he won was off, Jalen Hurts taking Alabama to, the championship game, right? And then, Jalen Hurts didn't have the best of game. Tua comes in, lights it up because they all game planned for Jalen Hurts the whole time. They never were like, oh, yeah, let's see what Tua does. No. It was a Jalen Hurts game plan, which allowed Tua to win that game easily, right? So, to me, this guy has been a fluke. If it wasn't for, Jalen Hurts having a bad game in that natty, this guy wouldn't even have made the NFL. 100%. He's too fragile, doesn't have any pocket movement, accuracy's overrated. Bad mentality. It's just absolutely horrific that he's got such a deal. And honestly, I'm surprised that on ESPN and Fox Sports, they're not giving him, the treatment they've given past quarterbacks. Like the Tim Tebow and Stephen A stuff. Stuff like that. Just, I'm shocked. I'm shocked they don't put more attention on Tua because he is getting top dollar for low performances. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Tua Tagovailoa's mentality? Would you like that for your quarterback or would you not?